Hi, I'm Eleanor Yearwood from ktpworks, and one of my favourite models is called the NLP Communication Model. So NLP stands for Neuro-linguistic programming, and it's something that I studied back in 1997, and it actually really helped me understand myself and what makes me tick, and also what makes other people tick. So if you're interested in knowing about communication and about building rapport and about how you influence people, the NLP communication model is a really good place to start. So if you could just imagine, or do this now, fold your arms as if you were sitting comfortably and then unfold them and fold them the other way. So one way you will probably find quite intuitive, you just do it instinctively without thinking about it, and the other way takes some thought and possibly is even quite difficult to do. So this NLP communication model will help you understand how behaviour works, if you like, within yourself and other people. So the number of years I've actually drawn this head, and it doesn't actually get any better than that, I'm afraid. So this is a head, a side profile of a head. And imagine that every single human being on this planet takes in information using their 5 senses. So we see, hear, feel, smell, and taste. And in NLP terms, that's called visual, auditory, kinesthetic, olfactory, and gustatory. So using our 5 senses, information is being bombarded through our nervous system, and in order to make sense of it, we actually have to filter out the amount of information that comes in. Because scientists who look at this reckon that there's 2.3 million bits of information every second going through our nervous system. So in order to make sense of our world, we filter out lots and lots of information. And to do so, we end up what we call deleting, distorting, and we generalize that amount of information that comes in order to make sense of our world. So basically, if you imagine, you've probably been at a meeting with people in the past and you might leave and discuss some things and people will go, oh no, I didn't hear that, that wasn't what I thought they said. This is because the information that you heard and the information that other person had, you have filtered it. Basically, we have got different belief systems. We've got positive and possibly not quite so positive beliefs about ourselves, other people, the company we work in, the country we live in, etc., etc. We've got our values, which will have been instilled in us from childhood. We've got our past experiences, so maybe you've had an experience with one particular person that maybe your friend or colleague hasn't, and so you come at approaching that individual in a completely different way. There are other things called meta-programs. There's 14 main ones of these. So there's a lot of information which gets filtered through this system before, if you like, we start putting it in boxes here. So what we've got here is we've got what was called an internal representation. In other words, this is our thinking, that little voice inside your head. We've got our state, or how we feel about something. So maybe if you think about someone that you've had a good experience with, the next time you see them, instantly that information is being filtered and there's a feeling. Possibly there's something that you're saying to yourself inside your head as well about how nice it is to see that person. And then what happens is that your physiology, so your hand gestures, your facial expression, your smiling, your body language, everything to do with your breathing, that all changes. And so basically these 3 things are interconnected. Our physiology can change how we feel, and how we think can change how we feel. So it's really important to be aware of what is it that you're saying to yourself in your mind, and also how are you holding your physical being. Because these 2 things will combine to make up your state, and that's what comes out as behaviour. So what people see of you, how you are actually seen. If you were to track that back, it's because of what's going on inside, how you feel, how you're physically holding yourself. So are you looking confident and assertive, or are you looking nervous and apprehensive? What are you saying to yourself in your mind? Where is that coming from? Do you have some limiting belief or some past experience? Has someone violated one of your values? Or possibly you've met someone who's got exactly the same values as you, and therefore you feel much more connected. The communication model, the NLP communication model, is a really good start if you're interested in finding out more about how people work, what makes them do what they do. We've got two different types of behaviour. We're either at cause or we're at effect. When we're at cause, that's because when we're choosing how to be, we're much more aware of our body language and about what we're thinking. And when we're at effect, it's when we're reacting. Something might have happened, someone said something, maybe someone's not done what they ought to have done, the kids haven't put their washing in the washing basket, the person in the office hasn't finished doing the piece of work when they said they would. Whatever it is that's maybe pushed your buttons, if you end up reacting to that, you're not being in charge of your own state. Hope you found that useful.